All right, what's up, guys? So I wanted to talk on this Jake Paul and Tyron Woodley fight. It was good. And honestly, it was good. Like it definitely had me on the edge of my seat, which is something that it's a lot better than a knockout. Although I was wanting a knockout, like it is good to overall see it like go the distance and kind of just like, dang, what's gonna happen? What's gonna happen? And then like them guys having like a few good hits. I feel like Tyron Woodley, he had that good hit that stunned Jake Paul. Jake Paul can't deny or be like, oh, I lost my footing or I lost. Like, no, bruh, I can see it in your face. Like, you was stunned, bruh. You might not have been officially like knocked out, like laid down on the ground or like crawling and stuff. Cause there was a boxing match prior before that where the guy, there was that, was it the heavyweight? Or was it another? I don't know. Anyways, regardless. No, I think it was the one where it was like the guy, he went up against like a Russian guy or something like that. And he kind of was like, you could see him like get knocked. I think it was that. Yeah, it was that fight. It was that fight. So you wouldn't go out like that. But you was stunned, bro. You was stunned. So you can't, no. Don't be like trying to come up with excuses. It's like, that's the thing though with Jake Paul in his boxing matches. Like, we were so used to just seeing him doing like these like first round knockouts. Although I think the Nate Robinson one did go to the second round, but still, like, we wasn't expecting it to go like that far out and stuff. So it is good to like have seen Jake Paul go the distance. I'm like, okay, now I feel like with this boxing match, like we can call this his first boxing match. All those other previous boxing matches is like, okay, you went up against a YouTuber, you went up against a retired basketball player, you went up against somebody that had like a styling and wrestling. But I don't know if Ben Askren was like, if he had like any knockout victories. I mean, if he did, cool. But you can tell though, like he wasn't like a striker and stuff. Now then with Tyron Woodley, you can tell he was a striker. You can tell, and it was like seeing him in this boxing match. It looked like he'd been. Well, I mean, yeah, of course, he's been doing MMA for years, but it's like with boxing, it's like you had sworn this. If this like, and it was my first time, but if I had like no knowledge, I would have thought that Tyron Woodley was like he's been a boxer his whole life and stuff. So yeah, I do think that he definitely did good. I do feel like though with him, like he was nervous, and I think and it was good because it's like you don't want to be like no highlight reel where it's like, okay, because it's good that this is like how he went out, because I feel like if he had got knocked out and then it's like, okay, then that probably would have hunted him and lived with them, and I think that it was good he took this type of L where it's just like by a split decision rather than like, okay, like now you laid out on the canvas like everybody else. So it's like at least you can say that. And I'm really hoping that they don't go through with this tattoo thing. I mean, that was the deal, but I'm like, dang, bro. Like, and the fact that the announcer, or not the announcer, but the commentator brought it up and stuff, I'm like, that's you could tell that whoever the commentator was, he was that kid that always was like, wait a minute, Mr. or Miss such and such, we have homework that you, like, bro, shut up. Like, don't just don't say nothing, okay? Don't say nothing, because yeah, if Tyron Woodley has to get that tattoo, I'm like, bro, can it like be like in the leg somewhere? So I'm like, okay, I could just wear me some shorts. Because I'm like, I'm definitely ain't getting the tattoo on my forehead, arm. Like, no, it has to probably be like in an area where I can like wear like a shirt like on my side, or wear some like, pants or something where it's okay, like thigh area, side area, cool. But like anything else, I'm like, nah, bro. Like, I don't want it on my stomach, chest, arms, face, maybe the bottom of my foot. Okay, yeah, I feel like that would be painful though. Regardless, I did think that this was a good fight. It went the distance. It was good to see Jake Paul, go further than 2 rounds. Because what the fight that he did with Deji, that went wasn't it like 5 rounds or something like that? It went like far out and stuff, but it wasn't like as good as this fight and things. I mean, even though that fight was good, but it was like Deji had to throw in the towel because he wasn't properly trained for that fight. But yeah, this one though, I had to say this would probably be like a favorable Jake Paul like fight and stuff, because I'm like, it went the distance. And Tyron Woodley, it was good to see. And it's like, hey yo, like, Don't think because this man is 39 and you know he was like he did he if anybody he's the one that took Jake Paul the distance. I don't feel like it could it's not the other way around. No, people will probably disagree and be like, no, Jake Paul won. Jake Paul took Tyron Woodley the distance. No, not even. I honestly think that if it probably would have went on any longer, it could. Jake Paul could have won even if it went to like it was like a 12 round like boxing match and things. But me personally, I'm like, I do think that if Tyron Woodley would have just been a little bit more attacking, because I'm like, bro, you got the strength, you got the power. Like, oh yeah, Jake Paul would have lost. So I just think that Tyron Woodley was nervous. I mean, even though he was nervous, he still did good. So we can't take that from him and stuff. But I still think it was a good fight and stuff. But anyways, I will talk to y'all later. Thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. Like, subscribe if you're new to the channel. Let me know in the comment section what you think about this whole fight. And yeah, talk to y'all later. Thank you for watching, and peace.